Hello everyone, I'm your hostess with the mostest 8-second gaming. In today's video, we are going to be breaking down one mistake for every rank in Season 17. It's been a while since we last did one of these and you guys really liked them, so I got you covered. But if you guys are really looking to take your Apex skill to the next level, then you need to check out the GameLeap website right now. Over there, we have top level coaches, including myself, pumping out amazing, highly informative guides. We have legend guides, gun guides, VOD reviews, mentality guides, positioning guides, aim guides. Literally everything you need to become an absolute beast at Apex, we've got. So click the link in the description, pick yourself up a membership, and start to improve today. But okay, with that done, let's hop into things and start talking about mistakes. Because I make mistakes, you make mistakes, my parents made mistakes 24 years ago. It happens, but let's fix them. Then what better place to start than with bronze? So for all the bronze people out there, it's very plain and simple. You just don't know the game enough. If you are legitimately stuck in bronze, all you need to do is go back, play some pubs, learn the game a little bit more, understand the characters, understand the maps, understand the weapons, understand the attachments, understand literally every single thing that you possibly can about the game. Now, I'm not saying dive super deep and start learning like recoil patterns and stuff, but it's just little basic things. Like if you go up against a legend, you should know exactly what that legend does. If you get in a fight and you don't know what that legend is going to do, you don't really know how to play against them, and it's going to be hindering your gunfights and it's going to be losing you games. This is a very simple fix because all you need to do is just play a little bit more. It's not that hard. So let's move into silver now. And with silver, a lot of people don't know the game's pace. They either just get way too overzealous and run into things before they even have to, or they take way too long and they end up dying because they're too slow. I do a little bit of coaching here and there, and I can't tell you how many times I've watched silver players run into fights way too early when they're trying to third party. And I'm willing to bet that this has happened to at least one person that's watching this video. You hear a fight going on, you want a third party, you rush in, but it seems like both teams just stop fighting each other and fight you instead. It's because you were a little bit too aggressive and you went in before they were actually committed on each other, so they don't have to focus each other now and they can just kill you for free. Understanding the pace of games really just comes from experience. Really getting on yourself to either get out of storm faster, get to a better spot in zone faster, or just taking a breath and slowing down. You might be playing Octane, but you don't have to mimic your character that hard. This will start to save you a lot in games and really help you climb, especially into higher elos. If you can master this in silver, then you will be set. But that's silver out of the way, so now let's move into gold, and this is that you guys don't know how to use cover properly. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have done a little bit of smurfing. I'm not proud of it because I don't take joy in just crushing lower lobbies, but it was for this channel to get some content to show you guys how to play in those elos. And when I was in gold, I noticed that no one utilized cover. There were so many times where I'd get into a fight with somebody and they'd just be standing out in the open. I don't know if it's that they think that they don't need to use cover, or they don't know that the cover is there, or what the deal is with it, but if you're in gold, learn to use cover. Figure out what head glitches you can use in fights. Figure out if there's a little tiny rock, because the smallest cover can win you fights. There's a ton of natural terrain on every single map. And if you can learn to use other stuff around the map to your advantage, like playing around doors and such, you can be an absolute god in gold and climb easily. One of the biggest things that I see holding a lot of people back in this elo is their lack of cover. They get absolutely blown up in fights because of this. They lose RP and then they think that they're just hard stuck because they don't really know how to do this. Very simple fix, just play around cover a lot more. But now we're moving into platinum, and this is where things are going to get spicy because this is going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people. But the issue that a lot of platinum players have that's holding them back is their egos. I don't know where it's coming from, but this has got to be one of the most toxic ranks. There will be times where I will take breaks from ranked on my main account. Sometimes I start the rank grind a little bit late in the season, or I'm just enjoying pubs more. But because I get reset into platinum by the time that I start my grind, all the people that are usually in platinum are back in platinum. And I can't tell you how many times people that are in platinum have been trying to tell me how to play the game when I have predator badges, master badges, even the ALGS badge. And I know that's not a lot because you can be gold and get an ALGS badge, but sometimes I do be rocking it. And I'm not a confrontational guy, so I don't usually say anything back, but it just blows my mind how somebody can see that I have these badges. I've been to predator and they can still try to tell me how to play the game. And if you flip it on them and try to tell them how to play the game, oh my god, things are going to get toxic. I've tried to IGL teammates in Platinum, and the amount of ego that gets thrown back at me is absolutely insane. And this is something that does hold you Platinum players back. If you go into a game and somebody starts to try to IGL you and your immediate reaction is to be toxic, you are probably going to continue to be in Platinum for a very long time. You might tickle Diamond here and there, but it's not going to be anything substantial because you're probably going to derank or not be able to hit it later. Drop the ego, learn from other people, get IGL'd every now and then. It's not that big of a deal. This will help you tremendously in the long run, and once you start to get into those higher ranks, you really cannot afford to have an ego, because that leads to you fighting with your teammates, not really cooperating, not being a cohesive unit that you should be, and that's going to lead to you losing games. So yeah, drop the ego, it's not worth it. But now let's move into Diamond. And the biggest thing that I see Diamond players being held back by is them not learning from their mistakes. This kind of does go hand in hand with egos, but it's not the same thing. Diamond players assume because they've hit Diamond that they're a lot better than they actually are, and they don't make mistakes. So when something goes wrong or they lose a fight, they can just blame it on other outside factors. I've seen people countless times get rolled by a team like they didn't even stand a chance, and then they sit there and complain about how bad that team is. And it blows my mind, like they just steamrolled you and you want to sit there and say how bad they are? Instead, what you should be doing is looking back at how you played that fight. See what you misplayed and learn from it, because in the future, some similar situations may happen and you can really use that knowledge to your advantage. When you die, don't sit there and say, oh, I was lagging. Oh, he was a controller player. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. That does not help you. And if you want to push into that master's bubble, you need to be learning from your mistakes. Every single game is a learning opportunity. And the only true way to lose a game in Diamond is to not learn anything from it. Sure, you might take some LP loss here and there, but if you learn from that game, it's still a W in my books. And this is going to help you get over that hump and get into Masters. But now that you've reached there, let's talk about the mistakes in Masters. And for the mistake that we're going to be talking about in Masters, this is exclusive to Season 17. Right now, the ranks are super inflated. There are people that have never been outside of Gold making their way to Masters. So that means that there's a lot of people in Masters that do not deserve to be there in a normal season. So the mistake that Masters players now are going to make is you're going to be overestimating your abilities in new seasons potentially. Now I say potentially because Respawn still hasn't talked about the rank season right now. They haven't really said anything about what's going on. So if they do plan to make it harder again, we don't know, or they might just keep it really easy. I hope they don't keep it easy, but we don't know. It's Respawn, they do what they want. But if you made it to Masters this season and you've never been outside of like Gold or Platinum, or you barely reached Diamond, this is a season that is really going to test your mental fortitude, because you finally got that Masters badge, and congratulations, it is a huge accomplishment to reach Masters. But in next seasons, when it does get a little bit harder and you're not able to reach the same ranks as easily, you cannot get frustrated from it. You have to remember that this season the ranks are inflated. It's going to sound really harsh, but this is basically a participation award season. As long as you play, you are reaching Masters. Right now, what you need to be doing is doubling down and learning everything that you possibly can from the players that do actually deserve to be in Masters and Predator in a normal season. Because you typically wouldn't be playing against these better players, you can see how they react to certain things. You can see how they play. You can see how they are just in game. And you can really learn from that and start to adapt that into your own playstyle. One of the things that really helped me when I was struggling to get better at Apex was watching Dizzy back in the day. I adopted a lot of his playstyle into my own, and that's what got me a lot better at the game. And you could be doing the same thing. Don't get complacent. Don't think, hey, I've made Masters now, I can make it every single season, because it's not going to happen. We've already seen this pattern once before with Season 12 and then Season 13. A lot of people hit Masters in Season 12, then Season 13 was really hard, and a lot of people got really upset that they weren't able to reach the same ranks. Don't fall into that trap, learn from that, and get better. But let me know if there's a bigger mistake you think people make in the comments down below, and if you guys want to stay up to date with the latest and greatest Apex Legends tips, tricks, and news, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I made Second Game, and I'll see you guys in the next one.